Hey guys, it's me, Erica, and I hope you're all having a lovely day, evening, or afternoon because you 100% deserve it. It's been a while, and I've been wanting to film kind of like a talking segment for a while. So that's what we're doing. Won't be too long, and then we'll get into voiceover of a spread for today and talk about a few things I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And the first is this little notebook that I got. My sister got me a vintage copy of Emma, which is my favorite Jane Austen story. And with it came this little notebook, completely blank. And I took a while to try and figure out what I wanted to do with it. I didn't know if I wanted to do something more scrapbook style, which I might still do. But basically I think it's a moleskin, or it has that same vibe as a moleskin, because that's what my diary journal is. But I think what I'm gonna do is I've been wanting to get to know the natural surroundings of my new environment. I moved across the country last year. It's 2025 now, I can say that. Moved across the country last year, and the thing I miss most about home is the plants, the trees, knowing what different plants were called as I was on my walks. And I just feel like I'm in a very strange environment. So I think what I'm gonna do is use it as like kind of like a little nature journal of like pressing wildflowers I find, maybe typing up little stuff about them or drawing them. I want it to be kind of sketchy. That might not happen, we'll see. And then maybe including some, like, I don't know, Polaroids or pictures I take as I go along my walks, that sort of thing. So that's what I plan on doing with this little guy. Kind of fell into my lap, so it was free, and I feel like when something comes across in your life free, you're more willing to like take a risk and do something kind of weird with it. Whereas like my journal, my Commonplace book, I'm pretty like, I have a pattern, I know what I put in here. I don't know, it's just kind of habit. And then this kind of just fell in. So like, let's try something new. So I might pull out my old sketchbook from college, and I don't know, just start sketching, get into the habit of it. I used to sketch a lot. That's a lie. That is a complete lie. I have never been like a drawing person. I don't consider myself like a drawer. I consider myself a writer. I don't consider myself an artist, although writing is art, but you know what I mean. I do sketch sometimes, and I really like sketching flowers. That's what I'm best at. I'm not like I can't draw like people for the life of me, but I think that's what this is gonna do. And I have some leftover Christmas and birthday money, and I think I'm just gonna put it all into making my balcony a beautiful garden this week. Not this week, this spring, summer, because my mental health probably really needs it. So that's that. Another thing is I am just like all the other girlies on the internet, and I made a bingo card for 2025. I actually made a vision board first and didn't really like, I don't know, I've made vision boards for like a few years now, maybe since 2021. Maybe I skipped a year. I've made 3 vision boards, including one for 2025. So I guess that would mean I started in 2022, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 2022 or something. And the one for this year didn't really feel right. And when I was doing like my yearly reflections, there was a system I learned last year, which was to write down 25 goals that you have. And then you narrow it down, I think, to your top 5, and then again to your top 3. And that was a really helpful strategy. And when I was reviewing at the end of more like probably October, November, I realized how much I accomplished off my 25 list that I didn't realize I did. And the things that I didn't accomplish, I wasn't mad about, because I had accomplished the top 3 for sure. And then I had actually accomplished like the 5. And then there were so many little extra things that I accomplished that didn't necessarily feel important. So the things I didn't get to felt really kind of like silly to me. Like one of them was like pay off my car. And then another one was save for a down payment on a house. And looking back, I'm like, that's ridiculous. I feel like I do not have the income to be saving for both of those at the same time. But we paid off the car, so that's fun. So this is kind of the 25, because there's 25 spots on a bingo card. So what I did was I made a bingo card, and I have like my really important ones, and then I have some like silly ones in here. And then I've left 3 spots blank in case throughout the year I come up with like a new goal. Some of them are kind of vague. Like I don't really know where my career is going at this point. Who does? Let's be real. But I don't really know where my career is going. So I haven't really included that much career-wise other than like make money at home, which is like, I kind of want a remote job or like a job that is like hybrid where I can make money at home and go socialize with people. So I've left a few spots blank in case maybe leaving it up to the universe or whatever you want to call it, and then like maybe something comes up where I make a new friend and we really want to save to go to Seattle for a weekend or something. I can write those in. And then like I said, some of them are really silly and some of them are not. Like start saving for retirement, I would say, is pretty serious. Read 30 new books, because last year I think I read 57 books including DNFs and rereads, and I think I read about 40 or just under 40 new books. So my goal is to read 30 new books. I'm just keeping it the same as last year because last year I traveled a lot and had a lot of downtime. So I had a lot of time to read. I don't know if I'll have a lot of time to read this year, so I kept it the same. And then some of them are kind of just like silly, like make a go-to cute hiking outfit to encourage me to go hiking more. And I really want to crochet or knit a pair of socks. This has been on my goal list for like 3 years now. So I picked up a crochet project to kind of get myself back into it, because I know socks, some people say socks are really easy, some people say socks are really hard on the internet. So I just wanted to do like a warm-up project. Yeah, so this is my little bingo card. Yeah, I gotta find some like sheer stickers to put on top when I achieve them, because I don't want to like cross them out. But yeah, so that's that. And I guess now we'll open the journal. Okay, so we are in the journal and we're in voiceover mode now. I decided to just pick up where I had left this page off, and I'm actually kind of proud of myself for that, because that other page that we're going to now add to, when I made it, I was not in a very good headspace, and obviously I didn't even write any reflections. So normally I feel like I would have just tried to flip to a new page and kind of start from scratch and allow myself that. But I really was like, you know what, like, I think there's room here to kind of involve both pages in what I'm adding, as you can see me playing with here. And so that's what I did. So I'm kind of proud of myself for that, for just kind of going with the flow. And you can see me, I stare out these cards for a little bit. This is the Under the Oak Tarot deck, and this spread is basically kind of an experiment, because I have noticed that when I create a Reading wish list, because I'm one of those people that creates a wish list and I don't allow myself to buy things unless they've been on the wish list for like at least a few weeks or something, unless I'm like going thrifting and I see something I absolutely have, although I'm on a thrifting ban as well for myself right now, but we'll get into that later. But I've noticed when I print something out and put it in my Commonplace book, the desire to buy it goes away. And I don't know if anyone else has experienced that. If you have, like, please comment down below and like share your experience, because I was trying to do some research on if like having an image of an item makes you less likely to want to purchase it. I find when I save things to my Pinterest board, a similar thing happens, but also like not really. I feel like saving things to a Pinterest board really helps me focus and not like impulse buy. Like I like to try and find, especially when it comes to clothes or furniture, things that kind of look like what was on my Pinterest board, at least vibe wise. And I've not really tried it with like everyday objects, but I find like with jewelry, as soon as I print it out and put it in my book, I don't want to buy it anymore. It's kind of like I feel like I have it already in like a little collection that takes up so much less space or something. I don't know. It literally makes my desire to buy it go away. So this is a tarot deck that I saw, and I like fell in love with the art style right away. I saw the moon card first, so the one with the two little bunnies, and the moon, obviously. And when I looked more into the deck, it is kind of a tarot deck. It's not meant for beginners, but it tells a story about a little girl who goes under an oak tree and discovers like a realm of fairies and creatures that live under the oak. Hence the title of the deck. And I kind of fell in love with that. It feels very fairy oriented, which is something I'm super into. The art style is that really vibrant color scheme that I love. That you would never see me wear or like put in my home decor, but for some reason art, I really love it. But I don't know if I can justify purchasing another tarot deck because I have quite a few tarot decks that I don't use. Like I recently in the past, I don't know, month or two, I've been trying to get back into spiritual practice and kind of like that kind of routine. And so I have been using my tarot cards more. I have friends at work who've been wanting tarot card readings, and so I've been playing with them more, but I just use the same deck, right? And actually the other day for the full moon, I tried using a deck that I'm considering decluttering to see if I had still kind of had a connection to it or something. And I considered giving it to my best friend, and she was like, well, yeah, like, and then if you wanted it back, you know, you could take it back. And I was like, And then I got like possessive over it. I was like, no, I need to try and use them. But anyway, I'm like, I cannot justify buying a tarot card deck if I have a bunch that I'm not using. And this one does still follow the pattern of like, I'm more likely to purchase an oracle deck or something, I feel like, because that would be new cards, whereas I feel like all tarot but then there's like the idea of like tarot cards are art. There's so many art styles and there's so many beautiful tarot decks. Like, I don't know. See, as you can see, I'm like debating it back and forth. Like, is it worth it even if I don't use it that much? Because I'm collecting like a piece of art. So we're just gonna let them sit in the book. Maybe leave my book open on like a table for a few days and see if I'm still connected to it. There's another tarot deck that I'm considering as well, and that one's an oracle deck, and it is plant oriented. It is not like anything I have had before, but I've always wanted a plant or flower or wildflower oriented tarot deck. I have one for crystals, which then helps me not want to buy a bunch of crystals because then I can like look at pictures of them. Again, it's this idea of having like pictures or something. So and there's some room at the bottom of this spread, so I might go back, because this, at the end, you'll see, this spread still feels kind of unfinished to me, which is baffling because, like, I usually do an entire two-page. You guys know, if you follow the channel, if you've watched my videos before, if you haven't, hi, welcome. Thanks for sticking around this long in the video. But I have a process, and I just kind of do it. I whip pages out, and I always do them two at a time. So it's very interesting that this two-page spread, I'm just allowing it to have multiple dates and kind of come and go as it pleases and do what it wants. Yeah, I kind of wish that maybe I'll move that star to another part of the page and put the moon card there. That's an idea that I just thought of. But like this page is like living and breathing and growing. Also, it's been a couple days, and that journal that I showed you at the beginning that I'm intending on being my plant journal, I went for a walk because I keep going thrifting and buying clothes. I don't need any more clothes. Like, really, actually, like, I do not. I wear the same outfit to work all the time, and I don't have like a job where I have to look nice anymore because the jewelry store is in the past now, at least that particular jewelry store. So I have no reason to have, like, I do not need any more clothes. Like, objectively, I do not need more. And so I would always go to the thrift store and buy like a cashmere sweater or like something, and like just say, oh, it's cashmere. So I've put myself on a thrifting ban. I'm not allowed to go thrifting anymore. And I keep coming home with like little knickknacks. So I went and I bought a small vase. And that's the last thing I'm buying. I will allow myself to go for like craft supplies because there is a thrift store here that has secondhand craft supplies. And I feel like that's like a good way, like that feels sustainable to me if I'm actually going to use it, and stuff like that. But I'm on a thrifting ban. So instead I went on a walk, and the sun was out all day. It was beautiful. You could follow me on Instagram at Raining Tulips, and I posted about it, and everything was joyous. You gotta celebrate the winter sun when you're up here in the north. The sun is out and it's not cloudy. You gotta be in it. So, and that walk was really good because I really engaged my curiosity and my playfulness and discovery. Like curiosity and discovery, I feel like were what that walk was really good for. I went with the intention of, it's winter, there's no wildflowers out, but maybe I can see some dried ones and try and maybe figure out what they were, or maybe some plants look different in the winter than they do in the summer. So I went and I walked around and I got to look at so much moss. And the color scheme of the landscape here is really fascinating to me because there's so much lichen, lichen, whatever you want to say, I don't really know, and moss that grows on all the rocks here. I live in a very rocky environment. So that's like super fun. If you guys follow Megan Rhiannon, I'm gonna butcher that, Petite Gloom. It like feels like swamp vibes, and yeah. So, but there were some dried wildflowers, there was some dried yarrow, and yarrow is familiar to me from the East Coast, so it was kind of nice to see something familiar. And then it was also fun because I discovered a plant and I noticed that it kept growing in like low, it was a very low-lying plant. It didn't really want to climb up, but it always picked between like nooks and crannies of rocks. So I wrote that down in my little nature journal and I sketched some of the dried plants. And I'm not that great at sketching, so I think it might end up more of like scrapbooky style of let's print out some pictures and stuff like that and just kind of have fun with it. And I'm really excited to have that kind of free form 3D. It's okay if that book gets chunky because it's not that big of a book, this sort of thing. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So that's the update on that journal because I recorded this on 2 different days. And I'm going to try and get more regular with uploads. I should have a pretty set schedule now, and have some time that I'll be home, but my boyfriend won't be home, so I can record and kind of do my thing and have engage with my creativity then. And yeah, so I guess that's my life update. That's the tea. That's the vibes. Go ahead, again, like I said, comment down below if you've experienced the idea of like once you print out a picture, put it in your book or put it out on your Pinterest board or something, if you still want it. Because I was trying to find research and there was like no research out there about that either. So it's very fascinating as a subject to me. And also like let me know what your New Year goals are. Like, did you create a bingo card? Do you create a vision board? Do you have a word of the year? Like, let's just chat. I'm really feeling a lot better in terms of like mental health and like, yes, my career I have no freaking direction for, but like we'll figure that out. I'm feeling much more grounded because I've tried to be very intentional about engaging more with my spiritual practice and engaging more with grounding, and this has been a really good week. So I hope something good has happened to you this week that you can comment down below and share with us. And yeah, I'm just suddenly really excited. Like talking about all this stuff has made me really excited. I was in a very neutral mood, but now I'm feeling really great. So that's pretty much it. We are sticking down a fairy because what is a spread if it does not have a little fairy guardian? And I hope you guys all have a lovely night, a lovely evening, a lovely day, a lovely morning, a lovely afternoon, a lovely shift at work because you guys 100% deserve it. And I'll see you next time.